right, so you're back in the kitchen with Zebka, and this week we're going to be making pizza dough. And I typically in school would use wheat flour, but here at this house for today we only have the bleach flour, which that's what we're going to go ahead and use. But to make it a little bit more nutritious, you could use the wheat flour, and you know, it's better for you. Okay, so I'm going to go through all the ingredients first because I want to make sure that I get them all right, because last time I had a little hiccup. So listen up carefully. So for the utensils, you're going to need a bowl, measuring cup, measuring utensil. You're going to need a liquid measuring cup. I'm going to be using a pizza stone, but you could use a pizza pan. That's fine. And I think that pretty much covers it, okay, for equipment. For ingredients, you're going to need 1 cup of warm water. It's really important that it's warm, otherwise it won't activate the yeast. So you can buy in the store 3 little packets of yeast. So if you buy that, you only need 2 packets. But then if you buy it in bulk, like what I do, because you know I make a lot with yeast, you need 4.5 teaspoons of that. And then 4 teaspoons of sugar you're going to need, and then 2 cups of flour or wheat flour, whichever. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and add these in. So I'm going to take the 1 cup of water, warm water, really important, and I'm going to measure out 4 teaspoons and a half, okay? So just be cautious to level out those granules best you can. There's 2, there's 3, there's 4, and then a half. This would be a really good snack to make like after school when you get home. You can make it into like a cinnamon dessert pizza if you wanted to, which would be delicious after school. Or you could just make a cheese pizza, which is what I'm going to do here with you today. You know, it's kind of versatile for whatever you're feeling. Okay, American, you know, as an American, pizza is like one of our foods that we enjoy. And, you know, some people might even actually have Italian in their culture. So you just want to kind of swirl this around, get all the yeast incorporated into the water. And then you're going to add 4 teaspoons of sugar. Sugar kind of helps brown it up when it's in the cooking process. It also gives it a little sweet flavor. You know, you could maybe break it up a little bit and you know, put some butter around the crust if you wanted like a saltier consistency or flavor. You know, maybe some garlic or seasoned salt or something. Just kind of break it up to give you that little savory flavor that you might be looking for if the sweetness kind of turns you off a little bit. But it does help with the browning of the dough, okay? So I'm just trying to get everything incorporated in. I kind of tilt it to see if there's any sugar granules that I can see, and that way it'll tell me whether or not I need to keep on mixing or not. Okay, I think we're good to go. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and measure out the flour, and this one you do need to level. It is better, I'll use this, to spoon your flour in the container versus digging down and, you know, putting it in the container in that manner. So just like a little tip. And then I'm going to go ahead and level it off best of my ability here. So there's 1, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab another. Now through the process of us rolling this out, we might actually need a little more flour because it might get sticky in the rollout process. So we always have a little bit more on hand just in case that does happen. Okay, I guess I'll keep with the fork. All right, so just kind of stir that in, and it should start incorporating and kind of roll into a ball as you are mixing it in. And it all coming together, forming a dough ball here. Kind of see that. And it's pretty sticky. So you want to let that rise for probably a good 5 minutes or so. We're kind of on borrowed time, so we don't have a ton of time to kind of wait for the rising to happen, but you would, and you would just basically take it, and at home here, what I do is I just take a towel and put it over the top, and then put it someplace warm so that it can activate and do its thing. But just so that we can get rolling today, we're gonna go ahead and pretend that it was sitting for 5 minutes. All right, so we have our pizza stone here. I usually take a little bit of olive oil and I kind of swirl it on the pan here. And then, hands washed, just take it and kind of smear it in, getting all of the corners. And you do have a little bit of oil on your hands, so that's kind of nice when you're working with the dough too, because then it won't stick to you. And you just put it out on the pan. I'm just trying to get all of the little bits and pieces. All right, I'm gonna have just a little bit of flour next to me so that if I need it, I will have it. All right, so you always kind of push in the center and push out. So you're building this outside crust, so that's always going to be being pushed out to the side so that you have a nice big crust. Some people, if they can do a good job and have a nice crust on their pizza, they might want to roll in some cheese, string cheese, which would be like your stuffed crust, which I've had some people do. Some people really like their flavored crusts. So yeah, you can incorporate, whatever you want in. You could add in some cheese, some garlic, if you wanted to chop up some basil. I mean, there's really, the sky's the limit on how you want to mix up your pizza dough and how you want it to taste and what you want it to look like. So, it's kind of whatever you like. Same with the toppings, if it's your pizza, you can put on it whatever you want. And then nobody has to get upset or say that they don't like something. Now, if we were in school, you'd have to kind of agree on what you all like on your pizza so that it could be provided for you. And you could leave it, at this. Nothing says that it has to be the complete, diameter of the circle. I'm going to push it all the way out, but you could stop if you felt like it was getting too thin, or you want it to be a little bit thicker. You could always, stop early and not push it all the way out to the side. Totally up to you. You can also use a rectangular pan. Pizzas are typically round, but if at home you only have a rectangle one, or the one that's circular is in the dish sink to be washed, there's ways to, work around things and make it work for you. Okay, so there we got our pizza. Just trying to get a nice edge on the majority of it. Got a big bunch of crust over here, so I'm just trying to kind of rotate it around a little bit. All right, so we're good with that. And then I'm going to take the pizza sauce and I'm going to go ahead and put that on. Some people nowadays, they use pesto. Some people use like a white sauce, pizza sauce, whatever, is tasting or sounding good to you is what you typically use. I'm kind of a traditionalist. I like just what's normally on a pizza typically, as far as like the basic building of the pizza. I kind of just like, with the sauce and cheese, and then I like to incorporate fun toppings though. So makes it kind of a fun and unique pizza. I do like the pineapple and ham, and some people would not like that or would say that I wasn't a traditionalist if I liked pineapple and ham, but I like the sweetness of it, and that's why I enjoy that type of pizza. Okay, and I'm just doing a cheese pizza, so I'm going to turn this into like a bread that we could eat later. And you're just going to put your cheese on. If you buy cheese in a block, it's a little bit nicer because it's freshly grated. It just has a nicer flavor to it when you're making pizza. And I'm just trying to take the easy way out today by doing just out of the bag shredded cheese. But if we were in school, I'd make you grate your own cheese because I think it's good experience, and I do think it does have a better flavor to the cheese. All right, and you could put different kinds of cheese on this too. I mean, we have had Asiago cheese. You know, sometimes if you're doing a taco pizza, you do cheddar cheese. I mean, there's just so many cheeses out there that are delicious. Okay, so here is our cheese pizza made from scratch, and we're gonna put it in the oven for about 15 minutes at 375, and I'll do another little video to show you what it looks like when it comes out. Okay? Excellent. See you back here in about 15 minutes.